In the small, forgotten town of Eldridge Hollow, nestled between dark, looming woods and a restless river, stood an old Victorian house known as the Harrow Estate. Abandoned for decades, it was said to be haunted by the spirit of Eliza Harrow, the last of the Harrow lineage, who had mysteriously vanished one stormy night over a century ago. One autumn evening, a group of curious teenagers, eager to prove their bravery, decided to explore the estate. As they approached, the air grew heavy with an unsettling chill, and the once vibrant colors of the surroundings faded into muted shades of gray. The creaking front door opened with a reluctant groan, revealing a dusty foyer adorned with cobwebs and the remnants of a life long gone. As they ventured deeper into the house, strange occurrences began to unfold. Whispers floated through the air, words indistinct yet urgent, as if Eliza were trying to communicate. The walls seemed to pulse with a life of their own, shadows flickering in the corners of their eyes. Sarah, the bravest of the group, felt a sudden pull toward the grand staircase, its banister worn smooth by time. "Guys, come check this out!" she called, her voice echoing in the silence. As they ascended, the temperature dropped even further, their breath visible in the air. On the second floor, they found a long-abandoned nursery. The faded wallpaper was decorated with playful cherubs, but the room held a sinister air. In the corner stood a rocking chair that began to sway slowly, despite the absence of any wind. Suddenly, the whispers intensified, now clear enough to discern, "Help me! Find me!" Panic set in. Jake, who had always scoffed at ghost stories, felt a cold hand brush against his neck. He spun around, heart racing, but found only darkness. The group decided to leave, but as they turned to flee, the door slammed shut with a deafening bang, trapping them inside. "Who's there?" Tom shouted, his voice trembling. The whispers responded, now a cacophony of voices, each one filled with sorrow and desperation. "Help me! Find me!" With fear gripping their hearts, they frantically searched for another way out. In their haste, Sarah noticed a large, ornate mirror hanging on the wall. As she approached, the whispers quieted, and the surface of the mirror began to ripple like water. In its depths, she saw a figure, a woman in a flowing white gown, her face obscured but her eyes filled with anguish. "Eliza?" Sarah whispered, reaching out. The moment her fingers brushed the glass, the room plunged into darkness. The whispers transformed into agonized wails echoing through the halls. The group huddled together, fear paralyzing them as the temperature dropped further. "Get out!" a voice boomed, shaking the very foundation of the house. It was deep and resonant, filled with the fury of a spirit tormented for far too long. With renewed urgency, they pounded on the door, screaming for help. Just as it seemed all hope was lost, the door creaked open on its own, revealing the outside world bathed in moonlight. They stumbled out into the night, gasping for breath, the haunted house looming behind them. As they fled down the path, they heard one last whisper, soft yet clear. "Thank you." Years later, the Harrow Estate still stands, a decaying relic of the past. Some say on stormy nights you can still hear the whispers of Eliza calling for help, forever searching for peace. The teenagers never returned, but they carried the memory of that night, a chilling reminder of the spirits that linger in the shadows, waiting for someone to listen.